Welcome to ClueCon Weekly. Join us every Wednesday to learn about the latest cutting-edge developments in the real-time communications industry. ClueCon Weekly is brought to you by FreeSWITCH Solutions. Get support and professional services directly from the creators of the FreeSWITCH open source project, solving your issues in the most efficient, stable, and scalable way possible. Get the FreeSWITCH advantage. Visit freeswitch.com. Also brought to you by ClueCon, the premier technology conference for developers by developers. Join us every summer in Chicago. ClueCon kicks off on Monday with our annual hackathon, The Coder Games, followed by 3 days of technology-rich presentations discussing telecom, WebRTC, and IoT from developers around the world. To learn more, visit ClueCon.com or call 877-74-CLUE.
And welcome to ClueCon Weekly. Today is the 15th of August, 2018. And today we're going to be joined by Fred Muteesa, one of the FreeSWITCH team. And he's going to be talking about putting FreeSWITCH on some unusual devices. So stand by for that. First, we're going to be joined by Abby for the news.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to ClueCon Weekly. If you have any questions during the call, please comment in the YouTube, HipChat, or IRC channels, and we will try to answer them live during this call. So if you missed ClueCon this year, or maybe you're just missing ClueCon, good news, you can find all of the talks up on our YouTube channel. Woohoo! If you're missing the FreeSWITCH team, you could also catch us at AsteriskCon this summer, so make sure to come find us to hang out and to check out Anthony Minasali's talk all about FreeSWITCH at AsteriskCon this October. FreeSWITCH Solutions is also now offering live virtual training. We have room open in our training tomorrow on Thursday. You can learn basic FreeSWITCH operations from the comfort of your own home or office by emailing training@freeswitch.com for more information on that. If you're interested in being a guest on ClueCon Weekly, or if you have any suggestions for videos you would like to see, please email us at marketing@cluecon.com. And as usual, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel to see all of our ClueCon talks, and sign up for our mailing list to get these and even more fantastic news and announcements from this FreeSWITCH team. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Abby. And we're going to jump over to Mr. Michael Malvarudis and Fred. How are you guys doing today?
Wonderful.
Oh, what happened?
So thank you for coming in on this wonderful summer day. It's kind of a little sad. Summer's coming to an end. But so Fred, you have some really interesting stuff. You're going to be talking about the FreeSWITCH deployments on very slim devices.
Yeah, installing FreeSWITCH on the Mikrotik, which comes in multiple sizes. It can be very small with 5 ports, but the one I'll be using today will be 10 ports. It's a Routerboard 211.
And those are great devices, right? They're cost affordable, and you know they run Linux, right?
Yeah, but basically they're interesting devices. They can do a lot of things. I'll be mentioning some of the different things you can do on the Mikrotik during my presentation.
Okay, and so let's get started.
All right. I hope I have my presentation shared. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Fred Muteesa. I'm part of the SignalWire support team. And today I'll be showing you how to install FreeSWITCH on a Mikrotik. Basically, this is deployed using images that are compiled on OpenWRT, which is an open source project that is for embedded systems. So that's
a Debian-based distribution?
Yes, so it's based on Linux, basically. So this VM will be based on Debian. And anything, if you've worked with Debian before, it will be quite easy for you to run this. These are Mikrotik models that support this kind of feature that I'm going to show. Mikrotiks have a feature called Meta Router, which allows you to install virtual instances on top of a Mikrotik router. So ideally, we are going to be having our Mikrotik, which looks something like this. And then on top of that Mikrotik, I will install a virtual machine that contains FreeSWITCH. And then on that virtual machine, I will do a vanilla installation of FreeSWITCH, and we shall have basic configuration files. And then basically we shall just install a phone, register a phone, and have that running.
We're going to do that live in this show? That's
exactly.
Cool.
I'm going to do that live right now.
That's
so
cool.
To connect to Mikrotik router, you basically need to know the default IP that comes on top of that router. If it is a new one and you've not touched it at all, it comes with IP 192.168.88.1, and this IP will be accessible on any of these ports apart from port 1. Port 1 is basically the internet IP or the WAN IP. So you can connect your laptop to any of these ports and give yourself an IP in the subnet 88.0/24, and then you can connect to 88.1. You can use the web browser, but in my case, I'm going to use the FreeSWITCH, the Mikrotik software, which is called Winbox. And Winbox basically is a tool you would use to log into Mikrotik. And
so this software platform, the Winbox is used for, like, you can use it with multiple Mikrotiks, if I can remember. So it's more like,
yeah, so you can get it from their website for free.
Yeah.
So this is how that Winbox looks like. You basically type in the IP, and then by default you would type username admin. And if it's a new Mikrotik, there is no password. It's a blank password. But in my case, I've set a password on my Mikrotik since it's online. I don't want anyone to basically hack into my Mikrotik.
No, that's very bad.
Okay, now after you type in the IP, username, and password, you basically just connect. And since I've already connected, I'm logged into my Mikrotik right here, and I'm just going to show you a few things. Let me first close all these windows.
Is it possible you can make the window a little bit larger?
This one, let me try to, how is that?
There you go. Yeah, that looks better.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm just going to take you through the features of this Mikrotik router, but I won't go into depth since I'm just interested in showing the installation of FreeSWITCH. But you can actually look at the interfaces on this router, that it has interfaces 1, 2, 3, up to 10. And on top of that, it has an SFP interface where you can connect fiber. It also has a Wi-Fi interface. So my router has Wi-Fi antennas that can distribute Wi-Fi or that can give out Wi-Fi, and then you can register your phones using Wi-Fi. So looking at those interfaces, you can even bridge all the interfaces so that all the phones that connect to those different ports, it can act as a switch on those ports that you've bridged. So in my case, I have port 1 as the internet port, and then the rest are under bridge. So to see that, you can actually look at this and look at the ports that are under the bridge right here, 1, 3 up to 10. Now you can do things like you can configure IP addresses, you can create DHCP service, you can do DNS, you can do firewalls, you can set up hotspots, you can do IPsec, you can set up pools, you can do routes. There are a lot of things you can do on this small thing. And if you want to know how much memory I have on this router, I basically can go under Systems, Resources, right here, and then I show you how much total memory. My router has 128 MB, and at the moment I have free memory of 99. And just a note, our VM is basically just going to take 24 MB of RAM. So the OpenWRT compresses this image so that it can use that small amount of RAM. But if you're expecting to do more calls on the Mikrotik router, I would advise you give it more RAM, like 50 MB. That would really be awesome. So if you want to go deep into routing, you have BGP, you have OSPF, RIP, routing protocols. You can also do all that kind of stuff. If you go under IP, you can check firewall. You can do NATing here, Mango, service ports, and filter rules. There are a lot of things you can do on a Mikrotik. It also has tools that you can use. There is a bandwidth test, email, flood ping, graphing, IP scan, all those services, telnetting, torching, connection. It is basically, it has crazy tools that you can work with. Now, the feature that you need to look out for.
Let me ask you a question. When one of the
Yes.
screens you showed earlier, I saw there was live traffic running on this. So are you actually speaking to us on a live device, and this is what's passing through from your location?
Yes, actually, my laptop is connected to a Mikrotik, and that's how I break out into the internet. I'm right
That's
now
awesome.
doing video through the Mikrotik.
Wow. Yeah, because
So
the utilization, yeah, there we go. The utilization, you can
yeah,
see it.
so yeah, I'm doing, and it's all those interfaces are 1 gig ports. So it really, if my video is good, it means my Mikrotik is working fine. So that's my traffic I'm pumping right there.
Wow. And then
it gives you graphs.
And then you're gonna do a live install on the same device.
Yeah. So that shows
great.
you how powerful it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, it runs with such low resources. You said like what, 24 megs of RAM?
Yep, it does.
That's crazy.
Okay, now you have to look out for this feature, meta router right here. This is basically the feature that allows you to install a VM on top of this Mikrotik. Before we go in there, we have to download that VM. And I'm just going to go at the terminal of the Mikrotik. Let me make it a bit bigger. We have to test our connection by pinging FreeSWITCH. So it's reachable. It's reachable. I'll just run that command. I don't know if I can make it a bit bigger, but let me try to bring my presentation back so that you can see. This is a command I'm basically going to run right here at the bottom. So once you run that, that command pulls the image from OpenWRT website. If you're really curious,
that's the whole OpenWRT image.
Yeah, that's the image. And it's very, very small. So I've pulled it in 3 seconds. It tells you how long it took. 3 seconds. And
so
once you have that,
it's running like BusyBox or something?
I beg your pardon?
It's got to be running like BusyBox or something, right? Because of the small footprint.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really so certain about the details of what it runs, but if you're really curious, you can just check out this website and then go under attitude adjustment. You can see all the packages there and what they run. So you go under files here, right here. You go to that tab. That tab shows you what files are existing on the Mikrotik router. So we have our file that has been saved, which is OpenWRT mrmips roofs.tar.gz. So since we confirm that it's there and it has just been downloaded, you can see the creation date is, of course, it's 8 p.m. here. So that's the creation date. I've just pulled it in. Now we can go under the meta router. So when you go under meta router, I had an image already running which I disabled. This one is disabled, so it's not active. You have to import the image you've just downloaded. So you click on import, you select the file name, which is OpenWRT, then you define how much memory size your VM is going to use. So in our case, I'll just give it 30 MB. but the minimum should be 24. So in my case, I'll just give it 30. So you start, of course, enabled us to be ticked. You start the import, and then you can see the percentage and the progress as that image is being imported. Once it hits 100, your image is right booting. Once it changes to running, we have one more thing we need to do. The image is now running, but we need to give it interfaces so that it can connect to the network. So you look at this tab here, right here. Under interfaces, you add a new interface, and
So
that
you're
would be
actually
MetaRouter
going to
4.
assign it. You're going to assign it one of the ports on the router. Is that what you're
I'm
doing?
actually giving it. No, I'm giving it a virtual interface.
Okay.
So that it can receive an IP from the router.
Okay.
Because all the other ports are going to be used externally. So I'm like creating another virtual interface that the router can assign IPs.
Okay.
So the type here will be dynamic because we want it to receive IPs via DHCP, and then we are throwing it inside the bridge because I told you earlier that this bridge here, bridge local, turns those ports into a switch, and the router is able to give out IPs on those ports. So you select the bridge, and then you apply. So that's all we have to do here. Now I have under MetaRouter, I have MetaRouter 4 running. You double click on it, and then go to the console. So since it's running, you just press enter. It will take you direct into the virtual image. So now that is the virtual image of our VM we've just created. So you see it is different from the Mikrotik terminal. So this is the Mikrotik terminal. This is the virtual machine terminal. Now we can check the IP to see if we've received an IP. Of course, the server has given us, the Mikrotik router has given us 88.248. To confirm that, I can go under IPs, DHCP server, and I check the leases right there. 248 is the new image, and 250 is my laptop right now because I'm connected to the same Mikrotik, and this is Prince Fredo. That's my laptop. So our VM is 248. Now we can try to run the FreeSWITCH command, and of course there is nothing. So the first thing you would basically do is, I'll take you back to the presentation real quick.
You have to install it, right?
Yeah, we have to install it. Those are the steps I've just taken you through. Install the image in MetaRouter, configure network for the image. We've done that. And then log into the image via console. We've done that. And then we need to test if it can reach out to the network. I've just confirmed that we have an IP. So let's see if we can actually break out to the network. Oh, right there. So it's already connecting. Once it receives an IP, it's able to ping out. But if you're in your case, if it's not able to ping out, you could actually just configure. You can go into etcresolve.conf and add a name server. It's one time when I experienced that such a thing, but it has always worked automatically. Now we have to go to the console and do updates. We have to update the image because it's old, so we need to pull in the latest images or packages. So we do opkg update. That updates the packages.
So they have their own package manager?
Yeah, they have their own package manager. So it's better you go to the website and check out all supported packages that were designed for FreeSWITCH. So you can even check out the ports that it's listening on. You can do netstart. Right now you can do SSH. SSH is open if you want to access this image remotely. Now, since SSH is open, for security reasons, you should set a new password for this image. Of course, that will be easy as doing password, and then setting a new password.
Because there's obviously a default password.
Yeah, so, oh, the passwords didn't match. Okay, so the passwords have changed for root. So if you try to SSH, if you do port forwarding on the router and redirect SSH to the IP of this virtual machine, you'll be able to SSH through remotely. I won't go into that right now, but it's possible. I've done it before. And now, so after doing that, you install the packages using this command right here. You can go to this page and see the packages that are supported or that are existing for FreeSWITCH. In my case, I just want to register a phone and probably test echo or make a phone call. So all you have to do is install FreeSWITCH. We shall do a minimal collection. We do a Dell plan, and Lua, and Opus codec, and FreeSWITCH tools and Mod Sophia. We need Mod Sophia for the registration of phones. So I'm going to run that command. Just give me a sec. I need to copy it over here. Okay, so I just basically paste it the way it is and press enter. So that's basically installing all the packages we need, and it will install a vanilla config. That means we shall be able to find our configurations files in etc FreeSWITCH directory. So that takes a few seconds. Shouldn't really go beyond a minute.
So why don't we take a look after you have it all installed? Why don't we take a look at the actual modules and dial plan and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm going to show you because after it installs, we are going to dive in and register phone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right, so it's completing actually. It's done. So it runs really that quick, and once you have that, I want to jump back to the presentation. After running that command, we have to go in and change the password, the default password. Remember, FreeSWITCH comes with 1234 as a default registration password, but we need to change that for safety reasons, of course, security reasons. So you go into etc FreeSWITCH bars.xml, and then you just change this password right here. For this training purpose, I'll just add exclamation marks.
I love that line. Did you change it yet? So explain some of the other settings in this file.
Well, I mean, this file sets default variables that you can set for your FreeSWITCH. You can have the domain, which resolves to the IP of the box. You can have the domain name. You can do the default music on hold. So basically, these are global variables that are set here, and then it's really well commented. You can go in and read through and see what more things you can do. But this is the same file you would find on any FreeSWITCH installation. Like here, we have the pre-process command that sets the outbound caller ID to zeros, and then the caller ID name, the caller name to FreeSWITCH. If you want to change those, you just go into this file and change it to probably your global DID number and set it here. So after you've changed the default password.
Yeah, I was going to say, these days, you don't want to be sending a caller ID of all zeros.
I know.
Non-jurisdictional.
Exactly. So you can change it in the vars.xml. Like the file is self-explanatory. It's global variables in there. So you remember we've not started our FreeSWITCH service. After changing the password, I have to go into etc init.d FreeSWITCH and I enable the service. Then I start it. So you can actually see it's running in the background.
That went up pretty quick, actually.
Yeah, so it's running. You can now access it via the console.
Wait. So wait. Is there top in there? Let's run top. I'm curious to see how much resources it's taking.
Yeah, on top here, on top here, I'm showing how much memory is free. It will take some seconds for this to set up. Okay, it just took a few seconds for it to set up, but right now we have our FreeSWITCH console. It's right there, FSCLI. And right here on this console, you can run any commands that you run on any other FreeSWITCH console. For example, you can just type status, and it will tell you how many sessions you have, a maximum number of sessions you can have, how long this server has been running. Then you can show registrations.
Oh, it's a little early for registration.
We don't have anything registered at the moment, but I'm going to register one phone right now. So I have Zoipa here that I'm going to use to add an account. But before I do that, I should actually show you how many extensions we have. Inside etc FreeSWITCH, we can go under directory, default, and by default, it comes with basically just 4 extensions from 1000, 1001, 2, 3, 4. So we are going to
Wait, open up 1000. Yeah, open up 1000. Let's take a look at that.
Okay. That's how it looks. Exactly what you would have in any other FreeSWITCH installation.
Okay, and then
Where we
so
have the default password. So remember what I was showing in the var.xml? So this line here basically picks that password. It's telling this extension that you're going to use the default password that has been set as a variable. And then the effective caller ID, caller ID number, and the call group. So that's those simple configurations. And all the other numbers as well have that. So I just want to register this extension and probably make a test call, or just call. Let's also look at the dial plan actually. See
I was
what
gonna say
things we can do.
we can look at the dial plan and then use because
Yeah.
of the call group tech support, we can look at the mad boss example.
Okay, so so we have the default.xml right there, and okay, I need to make this a bit big. All right, I wanted to make it a bit big. All right, so this is the default dial plan, and then in here you can basically call. You should be able to call extension 1 to 4. You can call 999. Let me see if I can trace this. Right here. You should be able to call to make test calls to these numbers. This one gives you an echo. 996 should give you an echo. 995 should give you a delayed echo.
And then there was the send DTMF one too for Google Voice.
Yeah. So you can look through here and see which options have been put in there. So we're just let's try the echo one. That should be cool. All right. So we are in the FSLI. Now let me bring up my Zoipa communicate and add an account. Let me add, I'm going to add 1000, and the IP was 192.168.88.248. Let me just confirm that real quick.
I think that's
IP
correct.
server, yeah, 248 is the IP we were given.
Wait, wasn't the second one?
No, 250 is my laptop. It has a name.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the password, remember, is exclamation mark 1234, exclamation mark. All right, 1234, cool. So we create the account. I just logged in. That I can do this and add the proxy as well. It will be the same thing, 192.168.88.248. Next. It can run through tests. It should give us. Oh, it's complaining about
Maybe you can see
password.
that.
It's complaining about the password. Interesting. I need to confirm what's.
Did you reload? When did you start
Oh,
it? Maybe you
yeah.
didn't reload the XML.
We need to reload. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me just. Service and rerun it.
What, check fires that XML and make sure it's the right password too.
Oh yeah, that could also be an issue. Where I can. Oh no, I missed the one. Can you see that?
Yeah, see, that's fine. Good thing we checked.
Yeah, I missed the one. Unbelievable. So at least we have exclamation mark 1234 exclamation mark. All right, so that should. Wait a few seconds for it to connect.
Yeah, that -R is very useful.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it tells you when it's ready.
Sometimes I make the mistake of the capital R. World of a difference.
Making me wait. I'm not really that patient. Okay, we are in. All right, let's do this again. I'm not changing anything this side. It should basically find TCP SIP right there. So we can continue. Since we have the SIP found, we don't have IAC, so we don't need that. You see a green tick right there? Should tell us that the extension 1000 has been registered. Let me delete this extension right here.
And there should be notice on the CLI as well.
Yeah, so yeah, we should see it as well. We should
Because we have a
under show
presence
registrations.
started.
So there you are. We have an extension 1000 registered on the server itself, and it has come from my IP for the laptop, which is 250. All right, let me try to make a test call right now, and we see what happens on the screen. You can actually just call 996. There you are. Are you able to hear my echo?
Yeah, Yeah, I can
Hello?
hear it. Wait, why don't we
Hello?
do this? Why don't we do 999-1?
Okay, let's see. Do we have
We could
that in the dial plan?
hear some music.
The thing is, the music might play in my headset.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Okay, let me see if I can register on another soft phone right now and we make a test call. Let me try to register. Okay, right now I have another soft phone, another version of VoIP that I'm going to register right now real quick.
so which version of Zoiper do you like the best?
Well, 5. I just got 5, and I want to thank the VoIP team that gave me some test licenses to try out their Biz version. So I'm using 5. It's really cool. I've loved it.
Hmm. I've not used it
Okay.
yet.
What do you use?
Email some. I don't really use any soft phones. I've played around with the native one in the Android stack a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't really use any soft phones.
Okay, so I should have a second phone registered right there. So I've registered 1001 and 1000. So we should be able to call these guys. Let's make these guys talk. I have this one here. Let me bring the other guy right here. And I will make a call to 1001.
There we go.
Oh, I made it call itself. It should have called 1000.
The important thing is it worked.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So we can answer. Hello? Yeah. So
Go.
you can see how swift this is, and you can see everything on the console. You can like it gives you this free switch feeling like you're on a big box. Me at home, I'm using a Mikrotik, and I have a phone in every bedroom of mine. And my Mikrotik is breaking out to all the rooms, and I am able to receive. I can call out through the provider. I can call every room. I've tried 10 simultaneous calls on this Mikrotik, and it worked just fine.
Well, and so that Debian distro you're using, I mean, it was originally put together for like wireless routers, right? Which
Yeah, it's
had
specifically put
substantially
together for
less
this.
resources.
Yeah. So when you look at it, let's see how much we are using actually under resources.
Yeah,
We
see, that's what
have
I'm really curious about.
CPU load of this router is basically 13%. It hits 20, but it's still low. And then the total memory is 128, and I have 59 free. And that is because I have another image seated there that I just disabled. When you check Meta Router right here, there is an image I disabled which I had assigned 40 MB.
So
So I mean,
let's do this. I'm curious about the resources if you make a call. Can you keep the resources
okay,
screen up? And then let's make a call and see
fine.
what happens?
Okay, I'm keeping it on the screen. Let me just bring Zoipa right here. Let me keep it here and call again. So it's sitting around 64, and let me answer.
It dropped right back down. That's the interesting part.
Yeah, But the memory is really not affected at all. So that's
So it's very
that's why.
practical for with the CPU utilization. It's very practical that this isn't
Yeah,
just like a case study. This can actually really be used, and I think that's a really important fact.
yeah, it can really be used, and these Mikrotik routers are in many places being used all over Africa because of the price. They're really cheap. It's less than $100 to get this router, and it can run your mini office. And very many businesses are using them. So I was just thinking of a solution that can give a small office like a law firm to give them a VoIP network at a very cheap cost. As long as they have phones or even soft phones, they can easily acquire a VoIP network.
Right. And
Yeah,
so because it's actually installed on the border, you don't have to worry about like NAT and stuff like that, right?
exactly. Like what makes this so light? You don't need IP tables on this VM. All the routing is done by the Mikrotik, all the routing. So you can see the firewall here. You can do a lot of NAT rules right here. You can do filter rules to drop. You can do quality of service on this right here. It's a lot of things you can filter.
And so not only that, but these devices are really efficient too, right? So from
Yeah,
like an actual routing perspective, they can actually do very substantial throughputs. I think I remember reading when they had like a $25 device that was like it had BGP in it. So it
so
had like
let me.
OSPF and all that stuff built in. And that's amazing that you can get
Yeah,
one of
and
those.
they have, once you get used to this operating system, they have levels. If you want to use it as an enterprise solution, they have routers that even have 1 GB of RAM, that even go beyond like 2 GB of RAM. They have those routers, but the concept is still the same. For example, I'm using this same years back, I think a year back or 2 years, I used this same Mikrotik router to install a hotspot Wi-Fi network for a hostel here in Uganda, which has over 1,000 students. And this router can handle all the students comfortably.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really neat.
So
And
it's I thought it would really be advantageous to have this out there and anyone who can use it.
yeah, and so this is also what you spoke about at ClueCon, right?
Yeah, this is what I did for the ClueCon workshop. I had a few guys come in to explore. A lot of them have actually played with it. They have asked me for the presentation and they have started playing with it. Surprisingly, James' body came with the Mikrotik router from London, and we had to install FreeSWITCH on it.
Hmm. And so is that how well, I guess you had done it for the university before, but I guess it's something that's pretty common in practice these days.
Yeah, many people are using these routers. For example, here in Uganda, most of the network operators are selling this to customers because, well, I don't know in the US, but in Africa, most customers are looking out for the cheapest things at work. And coming from
I
the
think
FreeSWITCH background,
that's just good business too, right?
exactly. So that brings in that's why we are looking forward to things like SignalWire, and we want cheap things that work.
But that scale and work well too. That's.
Exactly. So when it works and the price is affordable, that's the way to go.
So we have some questions from the audience.
Okay.
Um, the first one is, what version of FreeSWITCH is it?
All right. I can actually show you right here. Uh,
Right from the CLI.
yeah. Okay. What is here? FreeSWITCH version 1. But this is kind of old, and I think you need to check out their website to know the latest version. But like I told you, this is modified. This is kind of modified from the real FreeSWITCH. They compressed the packages and created kind of separate packages that can sit on this router. So I went in for the version that was created.
And then, so the next question is from David, and he asks, what type of CPU chip does the router use?
What type of CPU chip? Well, this is a router board, so it's basically the Mikrotik chip. Let me actually go to the
Yeah,
website.
because I was going to say they actually I think they've designed their own chips.
Yeah, they have their own chips.
Oh, okay. So Len says it's under the tab with the CPU stuff.
Under the what?
It's under the tab with the CPU stuff.
Okay, let me just check right here. There are a lot of things on this router, so you right here. Okay, board name is RB MIPS. Architecture is MIPS.
Yeah, there you go, MIPS.
Yeah, MIPS. So it's a lot of things you have to look out here. So I can't really say I'm a Mikrotik expert, but I managed to make it work, and I thought I should share the knowledge.
No, this is wonderful. I mean, this is really great because when it really comes down to it, this is something that's usable, it's practical, and it's cost efficient, and it's something that could be used in mass practice. And so really, it's, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
You're welcome, Michael.
So do we have any other questions from the audience?
No, I think you got them all, Michael.
All right. Thank you for coming in, Fred. Ken, back to you.
All right, guys. Fred, thank you very much for showing off what you've been working on over there. And Jersey Mike, thank you for joining us today. We've got a bunch of cool guests coming up on ClueCon Weekly, so you guys be sure to be here every Wednesday at 12 noon U.S. Central Time. We'll be broadcasting live here on the YouTube. Don't forget, click that subscribe button below our video here, and then also click the little bell icon next to it, and you'll get those alerts when we post new videos, when we go live, and all kinds of other fun stuff on there. Also, don't forget, follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, and all the other social media platforms. And we'll see you guys next week.
You've been watching ClueCon Weekly. Tune in every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central. Keep up with the latest happenings by subscribing to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or visit us at FreeSWITCH.com.